Good morning, afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching. Coach Charlotte here, Time and Compass, talking about some motivation versus dedication today. So, before we dive in, I had done a nice little post yesterday about hats. And so, I want to know if you are a hat person. If you're a hat person, let me know in the comments below. What is your favorite hat? So, right now, my ball caps are what I love. If I go by the pool, I have this big rimmed hats, right? You guys ever wear these? Or you guys are just like, no, she's crazy. Um, in the winter, I love like the cute little toboggan. Hats are just my jam. I feel like with curly hair, it's one of those things, hey Christina, that I can put on and then I just don't have to worry about it, right? Is anybody else like that? Maybe, maybe not, maybe. Well, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what your favorite hat is, or if you're not a hat person, because some people are like, no one hats. What? No. And some of you guys are like, what does it have to do with motivation and like dedication? What is she talking about? Hats, right? Um, so I'll go ahead and get started. So then that way we don't waste any time. I won't take up much of your time. But I did want to talk about in the summer. Hey, Wendy, how's it going? Good morning. That motivation sometimes can be a little bit lacking, okay? And some of that depends on your routine. And so I know with summer here, kids are home for the summer, routines are a little bit different, maybe staying out and doing different things a little bit later because it doesn't get dark until later. And so some of those things are just habits that we kind of fall by the wayside during summer. I'm seeing it a lot with like clients right now. Just people are going and doing, which is great. You guys are on vacation, all of the things that summer encompasses, like hats that are super fun, you guys are doing. And so because of that, we kind of get out of the rhythm of things. And when we get out of a rhythm or a routine, a lot of times we can lack motivation, okay? And so I want you to understand that motivation is oftentimes linked to a feeling, okay? And feelings are fickle, right? Sometimes I wake up, I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I'm just in a foul mood, right? There's no reason for me not to be, grateful for all the blessings that I have, but I wake up and it's just on the wrong side of the bed and I'm kind of grumpy, right? And so when that happens, I might not feel like doing the things that I know I need to do to get to me to my goals. And when motivation is lacking, that's where determination comes in to kind of pick you up and guide you, okay? And so what we're going to talk about is the difference between the two, and then making sure we have some good habits set in place to where dedication becomes easy to do when motivation is not there, okay? And so dedication is something that's planned, it's organized, it's predetermined, okay? When it's repeated enough times, it becomes something that is habitual or routine. It happens just instinctual, okay? So how many of you guys, when you get up in the morning, you go straight to the coffee pot? How many of you guys forget when you're driving home from work where you are or what's going on or how you even got home? Because it's instinctual, right? So you go the exact same way every single time. But when you park the car, you probably can't remember cars that you've seen in the past because you kind of get into your mind and you're doing things on autopilot, okay? So that is the point of dedication, is for when the motivation isn't there, for you to be able to just instinctually know this is what I'm doing and this is what we're going to do to get us to where we need to go, okay? So another way of thinking about that is like work, okay? So when we talk about, I don't want to go to work. I mean, most of you guys, if you have a 9 to 5 that you're not really happy with, or that you're not just super excited about in the summer months because you'd rather be on vacation, right? It's something that you don't want to do, but it's something that you do because you're dedicated to do it, okay? So those pros of having, financial security outweigh the cons of being broke, right? And so it's a pros and cons situation that happens in your mind without you even thinking about it. And so this is what we want to have happen with the things that are going to get us to where we want to go. So making sure that we're eating right, making sure that we're exercising, doing the things that we have a lot of times not the ability to like mentally stop ourselves from like either falling into temptation or being dedicated to our goals that we're setting in front of you. Okay. And so these dedication, these routines, these things that we're doing, they are intentional. Okay. So we don't just get up one morning and say, hey, I can, deadlift my body weight. Nope. I don't get up one morning and just say, hey, you know what? Today I am going to eat a salad when I don't have anything prepped. I don't have anything in the store, in the house from the store, from any of these things. This is one of those things that you're going to have to plan out. You're going to have to meal prep, or you're going to at least have to have a menu. You're going to have gone to the grocery store. These things that you want to be able to do to get to your goals, you have to do the planning in order to do that. It's not just going to happen. We don't wake up one morning at Goal Weight and go, wow, I don't even know how I got here. But, I did, right? So the other thing is that when motivation is lacking, it's usually lacking underneath emotional circumstances that are fickle, like I was saying earlier, okay? And so we're not usually tempted by the cookie if we're in a great mood, we're well rested, and we just had a good, healthy meal, or we just worked out, right? So I want you to think about when the motivation is gone, it's usually when those underlying feelings are there. So these are ones of hungry, okay? How many times are you hangry and you don't realize that you're hangry until you're like, oh man, I'm going to gnaw off my right arm. And when you're hangry, no one says, oh, give me the broccoli, right? The broccoli is going to make me feel better, The same thing happens, when we're tired. When we're tired at the end of a long day, we don't have anything prepped, we don't have our menu, we don't have the systems in place to be able to set us up for success. Hey, Kim, how's it going? This is when we are more likely to fall into the temptation of not being dedicated to stay in what we have. But if we already had something in the fridge that was a leftover, or something that we had planned out, we already knew in our menu that, Wednesday was taco night, this is going to be something where that dedication, that routine, that habit sticks with us, okay? So the other feelings that are often associated with lack of motivation are being angry. How many times when we get angry, we just say, oh, well, whatever. Today's hosed anyways. Let's just keep going, like, yeah, man, I didn't pack my lunch like I was supposed to. And by the time dinner gets around, you're like, well, we'll just order pizza, right? It kind of snowballs. The other thing is when you're lonely. How many times you guys have routine things that you usually do with family members, and when they're not there, when things change and you're outside of your element, do you allow for these things to kind of come in where motivation isn't going to get you there, but dedication would have taken you the rest of the way, okay? The other thing that I wanted to talk about was the difference between, creating habits that kind of stick with us and some techniques to be able to allow us to stay dedicated through the habits that we have in place when motivation isn't there, okay? And so I know with my group coaching, one of the things that we have done before is the Atomic Habits book. And so if you have not read this book, it is a great, great read. Tons and tons of tips in here. I'm going to talk about one, which is called habit stacking, really quickly. So habit stacking is taking something that you know that you're going to do, that is something that you look forward to, and combining it with something that you know is a little bit harder for you to stay consistent with, okay? So for example, I'm going to use coffee in the morning because, it's early in the morning where I'm at and I have to have my coffee. So every morning I get up and I have my coffee, and I know with my coffee, I'm always going to attach that onto the back of my quiet time, okay? And so that's just me. That's what I do. And it's become so instinctual that like, I just do it. But the thing is, it can be done with any type of habit. So anything that you know that you're going to do. I know when we were doing the squat challenge way back when, that people were doing their squats in the evening while they brushed their teeth, or they were doing them in the morning while they brushed their teeth, but they associated the brushing the teeth with the squats. And so it also helped them remember to get done what they wanted to get done. Another one would be the idea of actually temptation bundling. So this is not from the Atomic Habits book. This is from Katie Milkman. Yes, I did say Milkman. Yeah. And her book is called How to Change. And so with that book, what she talks about is temptation bundling. And so similar to habit stacking, temptation bundling is taking a temptation that you feel like is not getting you to where you want to go and putting it on the back end of something that is good and habit forming for you to do. So she uses the example of someone that always wants to like sit down, relax, and read their novel, but they feel guilty for that. Okay, they feel guilty for this novel that they're reading. They feel like they should be exercising. They feel like they should be doing something productive, and that they're almost wasting time, which in itself is a whole different talk because self-care is important and your novel is equally just as important as your exercise in a lot of ways. But what she suggests is doing an audiobook while you are on the treadmill. And so listening to that novel that you can't put down, that you really want to be able to absorb, but doing it with something that you find is a little bit harder to accomplish. And so she uses the examples of other things as well, but that is one. If you have something that you know that you really look forward to, if you can attach it into something that you feel like you're less dedicated to, it could make it be a little bit more balanced to where you can get to where you want to go a little bit easier. But all in all, the big thing that I want you guys to take home is that motivation is a feeling. We're not always going to feel motivated to do something. But when motivation is lacking, that's where dedication is going to get you there. Dedication is creating the systems and the plans for you to be able to do what you want to do. You wake up in the morning, you say, I really don't want to work out. I have been there multiple times, a lot of times, right? I just don't want to do it. It's something that I just feel lazy or I feel tired or I just don't feel motivated to do it. But that's where dedication pulls me in, okay? So I know I've put out my workout clothes. That's what I'm putting on in the morning. I know it's Tuesday, so I have TRX or weightlifting or whatever I'm going to be doing. And it's just what I do. It is my routine. It is my habit. And it carries me through when I don't want to do it. And so I encourage you guys to create some systems that you know that you can link habits with or temptations with to be able to get you to where you want to go. So let me know in the comments below if you have something that you have found success with this in the past, or let me know something that you feel like is a routine that you are dedicated to help you have success during the week. I know for me, it's meal prep all the way. You guys have heard me say this like a million times. But if I don't get my meal prep done, it's very, very difficult for me to stay on plan, have proper timing, and get things accomplished during the week without feeling very frazzled. So for me, that's one thing that I am dedicated to at all times is my meal prepping. The other thing is that I have a weekly menu. I also have a weekly workout plan. And so I know that every day this is what I'm going to do. So then that way I don't walk in to the gym and go, well, what do I feel like doing? Well, I feel like sitting and not doing anything. I feel like doing some stretching, right? But I know what my plan is, and I know that I need to get done what my plan is to be able to get me to my goals. So if you guys have anything that you want to add to that, if you have anything that you want to encourage others with, please be able to put that down in the link below. So then that way we can encourage and support each other in the journey to getting to our health and wellness goals. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. It was quick. I just wanted you guys to know that you're not alone when you don't feel motivated to do something. It is a feeling. It is fickle. That is how we're designed and made. But dedication can be there to help you get to where you want to go today. So have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day, and I will see you guys next Wednesday.